my friends, it is Mr. Mo once again here with a little tutorial for you. We're going to go over some PowerPoint stuff. And to get to PowerPoint, you go down here to the Windows button, and then right here is Microsoft PowerPoint. You click on that, and we open up PowerPoint. I'll get the little recording thing out of the way. I'm going to start real basic, but then we'll get a little more complex as we go through this, so hang in there. The first thing with PowerPoint is just inserting slides, and that's really easy. You're up here on the Home tab, and right here where it says New Slide, that's how you insert a new slide. So I'm going to insert several of these, and I'm going to do blank slides. When you guys are creating a PowerPoint for me, I want you to create blank ones. So I'm just going to insert, we'll just do five blank slides. Now if I go back to slide 1 and you see here where it says click to add this title or whatever, you need to go up here to layout, click on that, and blanket, right? It looks cold, give it a blanket. Click on that, and now we have 5 blank PowerPoint slides. All right, the first thing that I want to do is give the slides a background. Now most of you guys, the PowerPoints I've seen, when you guys go to do a background, you go here to design, and you guys just choose one of these fancy smancy backgrounds, and it then applies that to all of your slides. That's fine, but yeah, again, we're not going to do that. I want us to do something a little bit different, and get more creative with our background slides. So right up here, I'm going to go to the undo button. This is your friend. Whenever you screw up or something goes crazy, just click undo, and it will take you back to what you had. Okay. So what I like to do when I format my backgrounds is just right click and then go here to format background. I'm going to click on that, and the first one is you can just do a solid one, right? So with this, you can just change the color to something. So I make it red, okay? And now all of your slides will have this transparency here that helps out. And you'll see if I go to 100%, it makes it white. But maybe you want your slide to be, you know, slightly lighter in color. You can kind of adjust that. And a lot of times that will help make your words easier to read with your PowerPoint. So there's my first one. Now I'm going to go to the second one. Right click, format background. And I'm going to go to gradient. Gradient is my favorite one to do because it gives you a lot of options. So I'm going to go here to preset colors, and we'll go with the rainbow. And type, we'll go to radial. And direction, we'll go from the middle, and then we have a little circle rainbow. And now what's cool with these, you have what's called gradient stops, okay? With these stops, you can move where the color goes. You see how that purple's moving to different spots? That's kind of cool. You can even add stops by clicking this button right here. So I'm going to add one, and it created this one right here. I'm going to change the color of this stop. So I'm going to change it to black just so you can see it better. And again, I can move that wherever I want to move it within my stops. I can also delete stops by just clicking on it and then hitting the X. So as I hit these X, I'm getting rid of these stops. So you can see my rainbow is starting to become less and less like a rainbow. So anyway, that's why I like the gradients. I feel like you can really mess around with them a lot, and they're kind of cool. So that's that. The next one, I'm going to right click, format background, is a pretty easy one, just a texture. You go right here to texture, and you can choose which texture you like. Most of you love the fish. I like the paper bag, okay? Just a little brown bag here. And so I do that. And guys, with most of these backgrounds, you can go up here to picture correctness, and you know, I'm not going to go through all this, but you mess with some of that stuff, and you'll kind of see what it does as you mess around with it. That doesn't seem to be doing much. Picture color, there's presets, so I could make it black and white if I wanted to. Or artistic effects, and these ones are kind of cool sometimes. You can, you know, make it look different or whatever. And I'm going to go back and give that some color. So anyway, these are there for most of your backgrounds as an option that you can do. The next background, right click, format background. I am going to make this one a pattern. Okay, so this one has a pattern. Again, you can change the color of the pattern to whatever you want, and close, and there's my pattern. And then the final one is the favorite one for people to do. It's a picture background. Now listen, for a picture background, that doesn't mean you just insert a picture and you drag it and you make it this big picture on your slide. That's not a true picture background. A true picture background is done by right-clicking. You go here to Format Background, go here to Picture, okay, and then Insert from File. So I'm gonna find a picture. I'm not gonna use one of these. I'm gonna use one that I know does something kind of weird. So I'm gonna insert a picture here. Now, in order to insert a picture as your background, you have to have saved the picture to your U drive or your O drive. Okay, and so I'm going to go to this picture of Mr. Sheriff. Now, don't be alarmed when I insert this. Ah, disgusting, right? Okay, if you ever insert a picture and it looks like this, you have issues. No, if like there's supposed to be a head and his beautiful feet are supposed to be in this, but it's cut it off. And so if your picture gets cut off, what you can do right here on these offsets is you can lower these. Well, I rose that one. You can see it kind of moves your picture around. So if you want a certain part of your picture, that's what these offsets will do. And, oh, there's his pretty face. I get it down to 0, and now I'm going to do this, but it's going to kind of distort the picture. It's going to make him all short and squatty. And so I do that, and then there's my true picture. Again, if I just wanted it to be his head or whatever, I could manipulate these offsets to just have a certain part of the picture in there if I wanted to. And again, here's the transparency if I wanted to lighten it up, which is always a good idea with pictures because it's hard to read things when you type over pictures. So I hit close. There's my picture background. I know it's a picture background because I can't click on it and type. Okay. Now, as far as typing, guys, it's the same deal. You go to the Insert tab, and if I want to do word art, I go here and I can do some word art. Okay, there's my word art. If I want to do a text box, Insert text box is right here, and then you just draw your text box. Now, this freaks a lot of kids out. You draw it big like this, and it makes it small. Don't worry about that. Just start typing, and as you hit Enter, your text box gets bigger. Okay, you can still adjust the text box this way, you just can't adjust it up and down. And so you can see, if this were my text box, that's hard to read. So a lot of you guys are going to have to go to old fill, click on Format, Shape Fill, and give your text box some sort of fill color to where you can actually read the writing, guys, because that's the most important thing in a PowerPoint, is not that you just have cool pictures, it's that your information is being read by your audience. So, and your font is going to want to be bigger. You're not going to want little tiny font and giant paragraphs on your slide. You know, PowerPoints are meant to be presented. So keep that in mind as you guys design your PowerPoints. Also on the Insert tab, guys, it's the same deal. If you want to insert a picture, you just go to Insert Picture or Clip Art or a Shape. I mean, all this stuff we did in Microsoft Word, which is nice. So you guys should already know how to do this stuff. So I'm not going to go in real deep with that. You can move pictures and stuff without having to go to Snoop Dogg. Okay, Snoop Dogg moved to Compton. He's now living large in LA, so we don't need Snoop Dogg anymore to move our stuff. There's 3 buttons down here at the bottom. Again, I'm going to have to move this over here. Actually, there's 4 buttons. There's this one, which is called Normal View. This one here is Slide Sorter View. So if I click that, it's going to change the view of our PowerPoint. And guys, you can rearrange slides by just clicking and dragging. And you can change the order of your slides. Okay. Again, that Slide Sorter View. If I want to get back to Normal View, you just click here, and it goes right back into Normal View. This view is the reading view. I rarely go into this view. So I'm not going to talk about that too much. But then this one here will play your slideshow from whatever slide you're currently on. And this is big because right now, if I wanted to play my slideshow, what most of you guys would do is you'd be like, oh, and you'd go up here to Slideshow from beginning. Okay, you don't need to do that. If you're like on the Home tab right now and you've just done something here and you want to watch it, just go right down here, click the button, and it plays it from this slide. And then you can click through it and so forth. So these buttons come in pretty handy. All right, the next thing I want to show you guys is very easy. These are called slide transitions. And these aren't the things where you make your text fly in, but these are things that make your entire screen come in, and they make your PowerPoint look way more professional. You should always use these slide transitions. So if I go up here to the transition bar, I can choose, whatever one of these I want. There's dissolve. There's all kinds of different ones. And if you want to see more, you can go here, and there's even more. Okay, and so again, that's a slide transition. You can even put effects on it, like if I wanted it to be particles instead of the strips, I could click on particles. The duration, if you want to change the time, if I want it to come in quicker, then make the time smaller. If you want it to come in slower, make the time longer. Again, in a real presentation, don't exaggerate and make it come in super slow. So if I just go to here and again go up here, I like the ripple. That one's kind of cool. I go down here, again, I'm under transitions. I can just choose whatever one of these I want. So again, that's not very hard to add to your guys' slides, and again, it makes your slideshow look much better. Okay. The next thing that I want to show you guys are animations, and animations are fun. People like doing the animations. Here's how you do that. You go to the animation tab, and here's what a lot of people say, Mr. Mo, it won't let me click on any of them. What do I do? Well, you have to click something to animate first. So if I want something to be animated like this, I click on it, and now look, oh, I can animate. Yay, happy day. So I'm going to click on one of them. I'm just going to do fly in. And there you go. It flies in. Isn't that amazing? And if I go here, there's effect options. Okay, and so I can make it fly in from a different angle if I want to. I can make it coming from the top, the bottom, the right, to the left, the bottom, the top right, no, the left, whatever. So you can make them come in from any direction that you want. Which is kind of cool. Okay, you can do a sound effect as well, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on sound just because I don't know. There's better things to do, and a lot of times the sound effects get kind of annoying. You don't want to have a lot of sound effects in your PowerPoint. So actually, I don't know if I'm really going to even show you sound, but you can also put more than one animation on an object. So if I wanted to add an animation, so let's say I had it fly in, I could click on this, and then I could go to fly out. Okay, and the one thing, now you see I have two animations on here, 1 and 2. And if I click here on my animation pane, okay, this shows 1, number 2. My animations are labeled in the order that they're going to come in. Okay, and what I also want to show you too is there's 3 different kinds of effects. There's entrance effects, emphasis effects, and exit effects. You never want to put the same kind of effect on one object. So I would not want to put 2 entrance effects on your text here, because that looks stupid. It'll fly in, then you do something else, and it flies in again. That doesn't look good, but you could put an entrance and an exit effect on it. So it flies in, you talk about it, and then it exits. Okay, so that's something that you could do. Now let's say I don't want this exit effect on here. All I got to do is go over here, click on the 2, and press delete, and then it goes away. Okay, again, I said I wasn't going to show you sound effects, but for sound effects, if you click there and you go here to effect options, right here where it says sound, you can put a little sound effect on it if you wanted to. I don't know. All I want is sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their forehead. So I could put a laser beam effect on that. I don't think you guys can hear that, but I can. So anyway, that's how you do a sound effect. Now, again, if I want to animate these other ones, I click on them. I can go here to see more animations. And so I might make this one just grow. And then this one, I mean, most of the ones you guys are going to want to use are entrance effects. And if you go here to more entrance effects, you can see even more of them. Shine bright like a diamond. I can click on that one and have that one come in. So those are your animations. Now here is, and I'm going to delete this one because here's what you guys get caught up in, and I don't want you to get caught up in this, is you go to the animations, you go down here and you're like, oh, custom animations, what are these? Motion paths, oh, custom path. This could be kind of cool, and so you click on it, and you're like, okay, oh, I can draw, oh, so I can draw the path it takes. This is kind of cool. Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, scribble, like you're in kindergarten, and you just freak out. And you're like, this is awesome! And you keep scribbling, then you stop. You're like, what? Okay, what? Why is it so? Mr. Mo? Okay, I'll scribble some more. Yeah, scribble, this is awesome! La, 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 scribble. And then finally you're like, Mr. Mo, it just won't. Okay, to make it stop, you just press enter. And when I press enter, the heart is going to wig out, right? Heart attack. So the heart went crazy. Now look, guys, you would never want to do this on an actual presentation that you're going to give. You would never want to make the heart wig out all over the place like that. You see them do it on J.Crew, not necessarily good. Guys, you can do really cool things with that. I'm going to delete it. With the custom paths, like you could, more motion paths. I'm going to go here. Like I could make the heart go in like the shape of a hexagon or a parallelogram. Too bad the rhombus isn't on here. I feel like the rhombus is always hated on. No rhombus there. Oh, but I could make it go in like the shape of a heartbeat, which would be kind of ironic, right? And so now you see the little path there. I guess what I'm saying is you guys should be smarter with some of these custom animations. You could do cool stuff. Heartbeat. Boom, boom. Like you could make Superman flying across the screen and chasing a bad guy or something like that. I mean, there's all kinds of different things you guys can do with this. You could have a little car chase or something. I've had someone do like a Pac-Man thing, and they've made Pac-Man go around their screen. There's cool things you guys can do with the custom paths rather than just scribbling everywhere. Okay. Okay, a couple more, and these would be considered, I guess, semi-more advanced things. Kids come to me all the time. Well, first, let me show you how to rehearse your timings. Rehearsing your timings is very easy. To do that, you just go up here to Slideshow and then Rehearse Timings. And what this is going to do is it's going to let me play through my slideshow. You're going to see the timer up here. And so I'm just going to click through my slideshow, and I'm going to click through it as I want people to see it. This is what the J.Crew kids do in the morning. Okay, and so I'm just going to click through. When I go to a new slide, you see that changes, and this is the total length of my slideshow. Okay, of course, these slides have nothing on them, so I'm just going to keep clicking them. So, and when it's done, if I'm satisfied I did everything right, I would just click yes, that I want to keep these timings. And now when I play my slideshow, if I play it, it plays automatically without me clicking. Now, you guys can't see me, so you don't know if I'm really clicking or not, but I'm not, and things are just happening. It plays all by itself, which is cool. So that's how you do that. And then what our J.Crew kids do in the morning to make it loop and play over and over and over again is you go here to Setup Slideshow, and you put a little check mark in this box that says loop continuously until someone presses escape. So if I do that, it's just going to keep playing over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, now I have a lot of kids come to me. I'm going to go back here to normal view, and they want to play a song throughout their PowerPoint, and they don't know how to do it. Well, first of all, you have to have a song saved to your computer, so you need to bring that song in from home or something like that if you don't have music currently saved to your computer. Another thing, you obviously don't want to play music to a PowerPoint if you're going to be giving a speech over it, because then you'd be talking over the music. But an example of maybe using music might be for like a graduation party. If you have a picture slideshow and you just want to play music to it, or like our announcements where we have music playing as people are just reading their own announcements. To insert a song, you just go to Insert Audio. Audio from File, then I would have to go find a song. I just throw one in. Oh, Jay Sean and Nikki. I would insert that. You're going to see a little speaker pop up down here. Eventually. Maybe I'll just sing until it pops up. I keep bleeding. Oh, good. It popped up. So here it is. It pops up. I always like to kind of drag it down to the corner. When that comes up, I always go here to playback. And what you want to do is you want to start automatically. Or no, I'm sorry. Gosh darn it. You want to play across all slides. If you want the song to play across all of your slides, you're going to click that. Okay, now what I need to do, because you see here on my animation pane, it's coming in last. I want to move it to the very top, and now it has a 0. So that means when I start playing my PowerPoint, my song will start right off the bat. Again, you guys can't hear it, so I'm not going to go into details with that. Again, this is a more advanced thing. Another thing that's a little more advanced, if you go to Insert Sound or Audio and you're like, Record Audio, what's that? I could click Record Audio, and then I could record myself talking into my PowerPoint by just hitting record, and then it would cover my voice, and I could insert that. Or I could even go to Insert Audio from File, and if I have a sound bite of myself talking on a microphone, I could do that. So it could be your own voice saying, welcome to my PowerPoint, and just be you talking over your PowerPoint. Or those of you who are like Jackson, you might think it amusing to fart into the microphone, right? Just a giant, which yeah, that could be awesome. And so you could open your PowerPoint up with a giant gas bomb. All right, enough of that. I think those are pretty much the main things. There's one other thing that I think's really cool. Again, you guys can put a lot of cool stuff in your PowerPoints, and you can design them really cool. And I feel like a lot of you guys don't. You don't take the time. You just want to get them done, and you're like, oh, there's my PowerPoint. Check this out. All right, so I'm going to insert a picture, and I'll show you guys an example of this in class. You go to insert picture. I'm just going to go to pictures, and I'll just go to my sample pictures here, and I'm going to insert a picture of this desert. Okay, and it takes up the whole screen. And then you guys learned this in Microsoft Word, but you can go here to color, and you can adjust it. Now look, I'm going to make it black and white. Okay, and now I'm going to insert another picture. Insert picture, and this is kind of like layers. Layering is kind of what you're doing here. And so now I'm going to insert this picture, and it covers the other one. Okay, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove background, and you guys should remember how to do that. Right here under Format, Remove Background. Okay, and I'm going to actually remove the sky. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that blue sky and leave the red mountains. So mark areas to remove, and I'm clicking on the sky. Again, you guys should know how to do this because we did this in Microsoft Word, so I am kind of going fast on it. And so again, I'm not going to make it super perfect now. I need to mark areas to keep because they're getting rid of some of my red mountains here. And I want my red mountains. Red mountains, come back. Come back home to Red Mountain Paradise. Okay, and so I do that, and I hit Keep Changes, and now that's kind of cool. I mean, I have a black and white sky with the red mountains, which makes the red kind of pop a little more. And you guys can mess around with this. Like I move it. I go back to my black and white picture. I could make the sky green if I want to. Right? This is kind of like The Walking Dead. Right? Kind of gives you that zombie feel, like a zombie might just be approaching. And so now the sky is kind of green. So anyway, that's really cool in my opinion, and that's kind of a more advanced thing. It's not very hard to do. But it's something that I think is kind of cool. So anyway, that was your PowerPoint tutorial. Good luck. Remember, good presentation skills. Don't put too many words on the slide. Mr. Mo signing off. Booyah shaka!